A 36-year-old commander wins a brutal battle and dreams of going home, but a sudden betrayal destroys the life he built. Stripped of rank and freedom, he is dragged into the world of gladiators, where survival is paid for with blood and pain. As the arena crowds cheer, he learns that real strength is not just skill with a blade, but discipline, purpose, and the courage to keep standing when everything is taken from you. The closer he gets to the center of power, the more dangerous his next move becomes. Chapter 1. The General Who Wanted Peace. My hands still smelled like iron and smoke when the battle ended. The field was quiet, the kind of quiet that arrives only after men have spent all their fear. I was 36, a commander shaped by long marches and hard choices. The soldiers looked at me like I was the answer to their survival. I tried to be worthy of that look. That night, I walked through the camp while fires burned low. I heard laughter, coughing, prayers, and the soft sound of men pretending they were not shaken. My best fighter and closest friend, a sharp-eyed soldier, came to my side and handed me a sealed message. He did not smile. Neither did I that I had won the war my rulers demanded. But I wanted no more war. I wanted my small farm, the simple routine of feeding animals, and the peace of hearing my wife and child moving through the house. I carried a small pendant as a reminder that I belonged to something gentler than victory. When I looked back at the army, I understood a truth that most people learn too late. Success means nothing if you cannot go home with your soul intact. I promised myself that this would be my last campaign. I would serve with honor, then return to the life I had earned. Chapter 2. Betrayal and Chains. The message was worse than any wound. Power had changed hands in the city, and the new ruler feared anyone who had earned the loyalty of soldiers. That fear turned into an order. Quiet. Final by the time I reached the stone halls where decisions were made, the air felt cold even under sunlight. I understood what was happening the moment I saw the eyes of the guards. No respect. No brotherhood. Just instructions. I ran, not because I was a coward, but because I had something to protect. Yet the world can be faster than your best intentions. I was caught, beaten, and bound. My body ached, but the worst pain was the thought of my family waiting for footsteps that would never arrive. They dragged me through a market like I was an animal. People stared, then looked away, as if my shame might infect them. A heavy-set man in a rich robe inspected me with the calm of someone choosing tools. He bought me with a nod. That was how my life became a cage. That night, in a place that smelled like sweat and rust, a young woman who worked near the fighters brought water. Her voice was calm, almost brave. She told me something I did not believe yet. They can own your body, but they cannot own your decision. I held on to that sentence. Not because it fixed anything, but because it gave me one small handle in a world that was falling apart. Chapter 3. The arena builds what life breaks. The first lesson of slavery was simple. Pain is constant. The second lesson was harder. You choose what pain means. They trained us in a sandy yard behind high walls. Wooden swords, then real blades. Bruises, then deeper cuts. Men complained. Men broke. Men turned on each other to win a piece of bread. That I made a different decision, that if I could not control my fate, I would control my habits. I woke before the others. I practiced footwork until my legs shook. I learned to breathe through fear instead of obeying it. Every time my mind replayed what I had lost, I forced it back to one focus. Become useful, become dangerous, stay alive. The sharp-eyed soldier from my old life was there too, captured by the same cruelty. We recognized each other with a look that carried years of trust. In training, I corrected his stance and reminded him of the discipline we once lived by. He reminded me that I was still a leader. Even without a title. At night, I spoke to the men who had stopped believing. I did not give them pretty speeches. I gave them clear rules. Protect the man beside you, move as one, and never waste energy on panic. In the arena, a crowd may love your death, but your team can save your life. One evening, I took out my pendant again. It was the smallest thing I owned, yet it carried the biggest message. I was not training just to survive. I was training to return to who I was, and to make my suffering mean something. Chapter 4. Blood, Noise, and a New Name. The arena is louder than any battlefield. On a battlefield, men fight because they must. In the arena, men fight because strangers want to be entertained. When the gate opened, sunlight poured in like a threat. Sand swallowed my boots. The crowd rose as one body, hungry and impatient. I wore armor that was not mine, and I carried a sword that felt like a borrowed future. The first fight was chaos. Fighters rushed in like waves, each man trying to be the one who lived. I heard the voice of discipline inside me and obeyed it. I called for formation. Shields locked. We moved together, not as victims, but as a unit. The crowd did not understand at first. Then they did. A team that refuses to panic is terrifying. We won, not by luck, but by calm thinking under pressure. I stood over a defeated opponent, and the moment became a test. The crowd wanted a simple ending. My heart wanted something else. I made a choice that forced me to look at myself. Strength without control is just violence. After the fight, the young woman found me again in a shadowed corridor. She said my name was being repeated in places that mattered. Fame was a trap, she warned, but it was also a weapon if I used it with care. Later, I looked up toward the ruler's balcony. Somewhere above, power watched me like a game piece. I felt rage rise, hot and familiar. But I did not let it drive. I shaped it into focus. That was the day I learned. You do not need freedom to start building power. Sometimes power begins the moment you refuse to be broken. Chapter 5. The plan behind the chains. Winning made me valuable, and being valuable made me dangerous to those who sat on thrones. Guards followed me. Doors locked faster. Conversations stopped when I entered. The woman who brought water became a messenger of whispers. She found me in a torchlit corridor and spoke quickly, eyes scanning for ears that did not belong. There were people who wanted change, she said. People who remembered honor. People who needed a symbol the crowd could not ignore. I in the holding cells. I looked at the fighters who had become my brothers. I told them the truth. No one is coming to rescue us. If we want a different life, we build it with our choices. My old friend clasped my forearm, the grip of soldiers who trust each other with death. Then tell me what to do, he said. But the rich man who owned us, the one with the gold ring and cold smile, sensed movement. He stormed through halls, ordering guards like a storm ordering trees to fall. The walls felt closer every day. That night I gripped the bars of my cell and stared into the dark. I thought about what I wanted most. Revenge is a powerful fuel, but it burns fast if it has no direction. I needed purpose larger than my anger, or anger would destroy me before any enemy could. That I made a promise in silence. I would not waste the pain. I would turn it into a message. If I had to fight, then I would fight for more than myself. Chapter 6. Walk into the light. On the day of the biggest match, the air itself felt sharp. The arena gates stood ahead like the mouth of a beast. I wore polished armor and a red cloak placed on me for show. As if blood looks better when it is framed as entertainment, that my friend walked beside me. And in his eyes I saw the same fear I felt. Not fear of pain, fear of failing the meaning we had built. Behind the noise, I heard the steady drumbeat of my own breathing, and I forced it to slow. I in the stands. The woman watched with hands clasped, caught between hope and dread. The rich man watched too, proud like a gambler who thinks the dice belong to him. And above them all, the ruler sat where rulers sit, protected by distance. I stepped into the light. The crowd erupted. Banners moved like waves. Sand waited under my feet, patient and familiar. I lifted my sword slightly, not as a promise of violence, but as a statement. I am still here. I in that moment, I understood the real victory I had been chasing. Not applause, not even revenge. It was the refusal to become small. Life can steal your comfort, your plans, and your reputation. But it cannot steal your discipline unless you hand it over. It cannot steal your purpose unless you forget it. And it cannot erase your value unless you decide you are finished. That I was not finished. If this story gave you strength, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next video. Activate notifications so you get new motivational stories as soon as they drop. Give this video a like, comment what part hit you the hardest, and share it with someone who needs courage and discipline right now.